Hello and welcome back to Flight Sim World. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. And today we are going to be, where are we? We're somewhere. I think we're in Melbourne, Australia. So we're in Melbourne and we're going to be taking a flight around Melbourne. And what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be talking about what I expect from Flight Sim World in 2018. So we had a 2017 in review video where we covered everything that happened in 2017, what I thought of it. Now we're going to have a 2018 video to see what I expect, and then at the end of the year we'll see what they managed to deliver on, I suppose. And also I'll mention a few things that they are working on that I've seen and that I'm allowed to talk about, and obviously we'll talk about what we can and cannot expect from a personal standpoint and from what they have said. So let me just get this aircraft set up. We're just going to be doing a VFR flight. I think the clouds seem okay. By the way, I can still do this, which is not. It doesn't have the same effect that it did with the Seneca. This is the Malibu, but I need to switch a few things on over here. I think that should do the trick. For some reason I can't actually get into that side for... Yeah, today I can't seem to move over to that side. This head tracking is still not brilliant. I'm still working on it. I've actually moved my lighting position. It's kind of blinding me, but I can still see. I'm not looking at the light. As long as I don't look at the light, I am okay. But it seems to be giving me a much more, like you can see there, much smoother experience. So lighting is a big factor on this head tracking that I'm using. Unfortunately. There's not much more I can do about that in that sense. So let's get the flaps down. Until I get a track IR, I cannot really do much about it. Should we have a look outside? There you go. So how do I look up and down from outside? Oh, I have to. It's basically inverted. Okay, fine. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So we're taking off from Melbourne, runway 9. So I have no idea. We're just gonna have a tour of Melbourne and see what we can find. What other views are inside? I suppose I could use these views. Yeah, if I need to, I might just use these views. Let's get those lights on. Let's get that dome light off. There we go. Yeah, we don't need that. Okay, back to the pilot's view, and we should be able to... Let's see if we can get a takeoff out of this. This might not be the best takeoff. Then I'm going to start talking about what I want to see in Flight Sim World in 2018, and maybe you guys will agree, maybe you guys won't agree. Again, I do apologize for any shaky movements on the head tracking. I am still working on it. It's a work in progress, as you can see. It seems to be picking up my head movement forward and backwards a lot more today. A lot more. Right, let's see. Should we go for about 80 knots? 80 knots. Nice, smooth liftoff. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps up, and we'll trim ourselves. Get ourselves to a climb speed. Lovely, lovely. Let's have a look over that side. In fact, yeah, that's the way we're going to turn. Let's get ourselves turning over in that direction. Look at that. There's some skyscrapers out there. That's what I want to go explore. Beautiful, beautiful climb. Slow ourselves down a little bit more. Get ourselves climbing at a better rate. We just dipped below 1,000 foot per minute. I was kind of hoping to maintain the 1,000 feet per minute. Yeah, let's straighten ourselves up here, I suppose. Yeah, let's straighten ourselves up here. Let's get myself a little bit higher up in the seat so we can see a little bit better. There we go. That looks good. I don't want to climb too high today. Maybe 2,000 feet is my climb today, or my altitude I want to be flying at today. Yeah, I should be able to scrape past the skyscrapers. And we'll climb up to about, what, 100 and... Let's go to about 140 knots, I suppose. Seems like a good setup. Aircraft is pulling to the left. I found this aircraft does constantly pull to the left, which is something I don't like, but what can you do? There's 2,000 feet. Let's start leveling off. 2,500 will be good for me. So I'll start using the trim to level off, and the power we'll keep the power exactly where it is, and we'll see what speed we get up to, and then reduce power accordingly. Fantastic. That's actually done a good job there. That's done a pretty good job. Yeah, see, I'm not moving my head yet. It's going in and out. Look at these houses down here. Wait a minute. We need these houses in Britain. Right, those are the houses we need in Britain. Because if we can get those houses in Britain, that looks British out there. I mean, apart from the roads all being straight, but the colours on the houses, that's fantastic. That really does look British. I'm gonna go out that way because I want to find Albert Park, which is where the Formula 1 is held. But I have no idea where Albert Park is, so I'm just going to be wandering around a little bit and see what I can do. But anyway, getting getting distracted here, trying to fly this aircraft. It looks like about 160 is good for us. Let's slow the aircraft down further and retrim to get that going. So last year, I'm not going to talk about what we had in Flight Sim World. I've already mentioned that. So if you want to look at the 2017 in review video, please do go ahead and do so. That's where you'll find all the information about what we did last year. So, or what Flight Sim World did last year. Not we. I'm not part of the Flight Sim World team. I just make videos because they let me make videos. So that's all. That's just what I do. This year, what do I want to see? Wow, this is getting a little bit out of hand. This head tracking, getting a little bit out of hand. Right, let me try and do that and see if that can do a better job. Look over that way. We'll see. This doesn't look so British here. Well, actually, it does look a bit, I suppose, British town centre-y. Look, some cars down there driving around. Fancy. It doesn't look bad. This actually looks pretty good. I'm mildly impressed here. But anyway, yes. So talking about Flight Sim World, what do we want to see? Well, first of all, we know that there is a jet coming to Flight Sim World. In the last video, I said that it was going. Oh, stop it, head tracking! I said it was going to be a. I was wondering if it was going to be like an A318 or something like that, or an A320 series aircraft. Thankfully, it is not. You know what? Can I switch on the autopilot here? Nope, that switched it off. Switch it on. Come on. What's that going to do? That's climbing the aircraft. I don't want that. How about that? That should do the trick. I should hold the aircraft at 2,600. I am hoping. I'm hoping I've set that right. So I can at least look around a bit and talk to you guys without having to worry too much about the aircraft's altitude. In fact, yeah, that looks like it's holding 2,600 pretty nicely for me. Great. Okay, so, like I said, they've got the business jet that's coming out. It's not a commercial jetliner. It's going to be a business jet. This has been mentioned on, I think, one of their blog posts. And I think the stream, they did a stream at the start of the year. It was mentioned on that. So that's kind of exciting for me. That's kind of exciting for me because it's going to be something that I can fly. I'm going to actually reduce my altitude a bit more. That's something I can fly, which is not going to be too difficult. I am not very good at flying Airbus. Just having a look around, trying to see what I can see out of this. This cloud is not brilliant. This cloud is certainly not brilliant. But anyway, so yeah, it's going to be a business jet. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not entirely sure when it's going to come out. Obviously, it's going to be 2018. I'm going to assume that they're looking for a summer release or thereabouts. I know I was talking to the Dovetail team, and I think they were talking a few things about when releases are going to be, but obviously I'm not sure what I can and cannot say. But I'm assuming they're looking for a summer release. Maybe I don't know, it might even manage to get it out in the first quarter. Is this Albert Park? No. Albert Park, is that not near the water? Wow, stop wobbling. I don't know. There's so many parks over here. Oh, okay, I can do that now. Right, that's not clever. That's not what I'm supposed to be able to do. Like I said, it's not... Something's not working entirely right. So, yeah. So, yeah, business jet. I'm really looking forward to that. That might be Albert Park. Stop moving! Silly thing. Yeah, so the business jet is going to be an interesting one. Why are you doing this to me? It's like it's picking up something off my glasses, maybe. If I took off my glasses, I bet it would work. Then I'd be blind. I'm actually going to dip lower now. 2-2 will do. So that is something I'm actually quite excited about. It's going to be the first jet aircraft in Flight Sim World. I think it's going to be really incredible. Obviously, they're going to have the whole teaching you how to fly if you haven't flown a jet before, which I think is really important. That's something obviously with the cold and dark they started doing when you started. If I can find the checklist, when you started doing this, see, when you press the buttons, it would start moving. It would start moving things to different places. Obviously, it says view locked at the moment, but you know, you click on these various things and it would take you where you wanted to look, which is really, really incredible. And I think that's really fancy. Still can't find Albert Park. Someone from Melbourne's watching this and going, "You're a fool," in an Australian accent, obviously. I'm going to turn back towards the sea. I wonder if it's near the sea. I remember there being water around the area, so perhaps it is on the shoreline. I don't know. I really don't know. So let's get ourselves turned to that. So yeah, the business jet, I'm really, really looking forward to. I think that's going to be really fun. I think that's going to be really, really fun to fly. And I think I'm going to be doing a lot of flying in that business jet when the time comes. Stop moving. See, this, I'm not sure what's going on here. It's like really freaking out massively. I'm actually going to switch that off right now. There we go. I don't think it's very good to show you guys like that at the moment. So I'm just going to switch our head tracking off for now, and I'm going to have to do a bit of work on it. Anyway, so business jet out the way. I want to see what else they're going to come up with. The executive producer, I suppose is called, Stephen Hood, has said that they're entering what's called phase 2 of this. So now I'm not sure what phase 2 means, whether that's going to be you know, more early access, or is it going to be phase 1 was early access, phase 2 is in development. I don't know, maybe it's alpha, beta, maybe that was early access alpha, now we're going to early access beta, then we're going to go into out of early access, then we're going to, I don't know how exactly it's going to work. I'm not sure what phase 2 means, but what I do know is that with them saying phase 2, it's definitely bringing up some hype for the actual title, because when you think about it, something like saying phase 2 of something means that you've got your bare bones down. Now you're looking to become, you know, to become more established, or to become better at what you're doing. You've already become established. You know, you've already got that. You've already got those basics, those foundations down. So obviously, Flight Sim World feel like they've got the foundations down now, and now they can actually start working on the likes of whatever they're going to be working on this year. So obviously, the business jet's one of them. I personally feel that phase 2 should be... Whoa. I feel that phase 2 should still be an early access state, in my personal opinion. If it's going to, you know, if I think it should be an early access state. Whether they stay in it or not, I can't tell you. But I feel like if they stay in it, it might be a good thing. The only problem is with... If you still call it early access, then people might think, hang on a minute, that means that they're not really going anywhere. Phase 2 is just phase 2. It's not really the end of anything. Nothing's really changed. I think I see a park over on that side. I want to see what that is. Yeah. So that's my thinking there. Let me switch on some head tracking again to see what I can bring up, so I can have a look around the area. Yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. Oh look, is that a football stadium? Actually, it looks like a football stadium. Melbourne FC, maybe? Yeah, it certainly looks like a football stadium to me. Actually, it looks like an all-purpose stadium. Looks like they do athletics around there as well. Why am I looking at that and going, ooh, I wonder what they do around these areas? So that's my opinion on that. I think that, you know, phase 2 is probably still going to be early access, but you never know. You never know, and I look forward to seeing what phase 2 is going to bring. Whatever it's going to bring, I hope it's pretty good. One thing that I did see is on their Facebook page there was a... What was there? There was an image. I'm probably going to put it up on screen if I remember. I'll put this image up on screen now if I remember to do so. And the image actually shows some skids for what looks to be water landing. I mean, it's got wheels as well, but it's clearly got skids. Now, I'm just going to pull up this image for myself again so I can have a look at it. So I've just pulled up the image so I can describe this image to you guys if you guys haven't got it on screen right now, if I've forgotten, which I hope I haven't forgotten. We've got two skids that seem to be connected with some triangulated trusses, some wiring. It's all a model. It's not textured up or anything. We've got wheels at the bottom. Each skid seems to have 2 wheels at the bottom. Now, it tells me it's for water because it's got rudders at the back. Each skid's got a rudder, so obviously that tells me it's for water. Now, as to what aircraft it's for, I don't know. I'm not too sure what aircraft this could possibly be for. Is that Albert Park? I'm just going around every park going, is that Albert Park? Is that Albert Park? Is that Albert Park? I sound like that. I sound like Donkey from Shrek. Are we there yet? 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 At one point I'm just going to say, yes, that is Albert Park. Really? No! Anyway. So this skid, now I'm looking at it and trying to work out what aircraft it goes on is not easy. It's not easy at all. I don't see a front skid, but then this could be an incomplete picture, so I can't really say whether that doesn't really determine for me what aircraft it could go on, because I can't see a front skid or a rear skid for that matter. So, you know, I can't tell you whether it's going to go on a tail dragger, in which case it would be the Cub, or go on a standard, you know, traditional setup on the aircraft. So your 3-point landing systems, or your nose gear and your main gears, as opposed to a tail dragger. So I don't know whether it could go on this aeroplane here, Malibu, have a fixed landing gear variant of the Malibu that can land on water. That would be cool. I don't know whether it'd go on the Cub. It could even go on the military aircraft, which would be a bit embarrassing. That's a golf course. I mean, nice golf course, but it is a golf course. Those roads really back onto that course in an interesting fashion, especially that one. Yeah. This is where I think they need to improve. They need to look around at this and go, hang on, what is and isn't right in this area? For example, this is a golf course, and in the middle of the golf course, that looks like a fairway there and there. And we've just got a clump of houses which don't seem to be connected to anything. You see? They're literally not connected to anything. That's a little bit disappointing in that sense. But anyway, well, we've got an airport ahead of us that we might be able to land at. Since I cannot find Albert Park. Is that Albert Park? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just doing a fly around the coast of Melbourne now. So yeah, these skids, they could belong on any aircraft. Now, looking at the distance between the skids, I have a feeling they're for a small aircraft. I'm just putting an analytical mind to this. I have a feeling they're for a small aircraft because of the distance between the skids. So I don't think they're for this Malibu, and I think they're certainly not for the Seneca. I really don't think they're for the Seneca. So those two for me are out the window as I descend a little bit more now. But they could be for the Piper. I mean, the Piper would be pretty good. I wonder if this is a just flight thing. This could be a just flight thing. They could be for the Piper Arrow 3. Have a variant for that. They could certainly fit on that. I feel like they could fit on that. Like I said, they could be for the Warhawk, although again, that to me seems unlikely. Why would a Warhawk want to be landing on water? They could be for the Cub, and they could be for the first Arrow that came in, the Piper. Sorry, not the Arrow, the Cherokee. So they could be for a Cherokee. I'm sure the Cherokee does have a water variant. I have to say, this is beautiful. This is so nicely done. It really looks great. I wish in Britain they had a housing textures like this, especially the roofs. They would have great. That would look good. Is that Albert Park? Now that could be Albert Park.